it's time for the podcast. This is the second time I made this intro, and I'm going to do it again. Hi, welcome to the podcast. My name is Nate. I am making this episode because this is a really horrible take of my intro. Wow. Okay. The first one was way better, but now I'm in too deep. I can't. Anyways, hi, my name is Nate. This is a podcast called Unmedicated Antics where I sit here, I play Minecraft, and I talk about my struggles with ADHD and how I will continue to get my life together. And this is episode 5. This is about week 5 of doing this. I am weird this week because I've been making this video series, as y'all know, the docu-series, which has evolved into a new content form. It has evolved into a very different content form, and it's gotten more long form. So I've kind of been adjusting for that. But it is still getting worked on, and I'm really excited about that. But in making that, I've come to identify very particular things that I do, very particular small habits that I do that really screw me over. And it's in identifying those that I can work on them and adjust and like mentally make a check note every time I do that thing, like, oh, I know about this. I know what I'm doing. And it's really nice. It's really nice. And my dog is chewing on a water bottle, and I apologize. And I'm still not editing these, but I will eventually. But it's weird because now I know the small little things I do. I'm identifying them because every time something causes me to fall off, I write it down. If something causes me to drop off my like work ethic or, you know, my routine, my typical routine, the habits that I'm trying to build, whatever it is, I write that thing down so I know to avoid it. And weirdly, on Wednesday, I noticed editing this or recording this podcast right before I did that my gym schedule, I've noticed this before for context, but my gym schedule is fairly consistent. It's Sunday through Wednesday, and then it is Thursday through Friday, Thursday through Saturday, sorry, excuse me. And in identifying that, I realized that every single time that this isn't like factual or anything, but pretty much every single time I identify, you know, my failure, and I'm like, all right, I need to get back onto it, it's always on Wednesday, which happens to be my rest day. In which case, I'm not supposed to do anything at the gym. So I will mess up my schedule on purpose. But not on purpose, but like it always ends up being that. And wow, look at that house. But it's not on purpose, I swear. Like it's just, it's unfortunate that it happens to be that way, but that's not at all how it was supposed to be. No shit. I don't know why I'm even saying that. But it's so weird. It's odd. It's weird. But I have, in case you're wondering too, I'm wearing my work shirt. I have work in an hour. And I was supposed to have work 2 hours ago, but they told me not to come in. So that's where we're at with this. So I decided, let me get this podcast episode out of the way because otherwise it wasn't going to be able to get out on time because I have work the entire day. But now I can, so I can talk finally because I'm glad I'm talking about this because it also makes me hear it audibly for myself too for the first time because I've had these mental thoughts and I've made these mental check notes of, okay, I'm doing this action. I need to stop doing this in order to make progress. I'm very good about identifying that, but hearing it is what's really important, and it's important that I say it out loud. So here we go. I haven't been journaling. I haven't been writing down my sticky notes since August, I believe 15th now. I believe the last time I wrote down and documented my day was August 15th. It is currently August 20th. It has been 5 days, and let me explain what caused that. So the thing about not documenting is I can't remember what happened those days. I truly can't. Other than the fact that I worked those days, I don't remember. I can't remember a freaking thing. But I did know that on Friday, I needed to get my high school transcript sent to my college, which is not in my city, and they needed it by today, the 20th, in order to get me registered. So on Friday, I identified that problem, and I was like, all right, I'm working the entire weekend, and also USPS does not run on the weekends. So even overnight shipping, which is $70 for a regular envelope. $70 for a regular envelope is insane. But I was like, that's not going to get there on time because they don't run on weekends. And so the overnight's not even going to be worth it. And I didn't trust it. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to drive 3 hours and I'm going to go drop it off myself. And that's exactly what I did. I went on Monday, and I'm not going to lie, that weekend I lollygagged. I had time. I had time to edit. I had time to film, to edit, record. I just said the same thing 4 times. Oh my God. I had time to write. I had time to read. I had time to do all of that, but I didn't. I didn't out of laziness, and this is where discipline comes in, but I'll get to that. But by the time Monday came around, I did sleep because I was gonna go to Dallas on Monday, so I went to. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. Oh my god, podcast listeners, I'm so sorry. If you're watching this, you can probably like deal with this more. But if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry. Oh, this is what my brain sounds like on a constant basis. But anyways, on Sunday night, I went to bed at around 12 a.m. and I woke up at 4 because my plan was to go to Dallas, get there around 6:30, eat some breakfast at Old South because live, laugh, love, Fort Worth, Old South, I love you. Eat some breakfast, go there by the time, because it was going to be an hour drive from Fort Worth to get there, and drop off my thing by the time they opened and leave. Go home. Be back home by at least 2 p.m. because I was going to go to Grapevine and like walk around and whatever. So that was the plan. I went there. The plan was going well. I went and got breakfast. Dallas traffic. Oh my God, I hate y'all. Especially in the morning. Y'all are horrible. Die. But then a fire truck happened and I didn't know what the fuck to do because all the lanes are full. And I'm like, help. I panicked. But anyways, I went, I dropped it off and they're like, why don't you take a seat? I was like, okay. And they're like, let's go ahead and finish this like while you're here. I was like, okay, cool. And they, they're getting my scores and everything and trying to get it validated. And they're like, we noticed you haven't submitted your standardized test scores. And I'm like, I did. I absolutely did. I definitely did that because I took the ACT and it got me into my last 2 colleges. So it should get me into this one. They're like, okay, so we have your ACT. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? They're like, we do have your ACT. You don't meet the requirements. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't meet the requirements? I've been to 2 colleges already and my ACT doesn't meet the requirements. They're like, no, in the other subjects you excelled. Like I think I had a 27 on my ACT, which is like whatever, it's average score, but still it should get me in. That was a combined score. I think reading and English comprehension I had like a 32 in each of them. And I don't remember, I think the other one was science where I kind of like lowballed, but I still had the requirements. However, in math, I was 1 point short of the requirement. They told me they could not admit me until they had a standardized test score for math. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm just waiting for spring then so I can schedule that test. And she goes, no, you can take it today. You can take it today. And I'm like, you want me to take a freaking standardized math test 3 years? Oh, 2 years. 2 years after I graduated high school. And she's like, yes. I failed that shit. I went there. I went in full confidence and I failed. I failed so hard. But that took me another, 3 hours because I had to go do the pre-assessment first. So I had to take a little mini test before that. But I couldn't do it at the school. I had to leave. So I went to a fucking random ass Starbucks. Matcha is great, by the way, and I liked it before the whole trend started. Fuck you. But anyways, I went, I got, a little drink, and then I sat in the parking lot, and I stole their Wi-Fi, and I did the test, and then I went back, and I did the test there, and I failed. But they did say I was good to go. They told me, hey, all right, we got your scores. You should be all good to go. We are going to send you to a counselor now to get you registered, get your classes figured out. And I'm like, perfect. How long is that going to be? This place was built like the DMV. They wanted you to take a number. They were like, now serving number 47. Like they had like little screens. They had booths. It looked like a DMV, bro. I swear. And they're like, yeah, it's going to be like 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours? Dude, that's how long it was going to take me to drive home. And I realized, and y'all saw this in the last episode, I could just go online and do it online. So I'm like, okay, yeah, just keep me in that queue. I left. Started driving home. And on the drive home, I got a phone call from my counselor. And I did my registering for my classes on the drive home. And she was very concerned, but we did it, and it's fine, and it's perfect. I told her I parked. That was a lie. But we made it. We did it. I'm officially in school. I'm officially back in college. As community college as it is, I'm back in college. And that is nice. And I wanted to get that point out of the way before I move on. Wow, my phone just went off. That's really unfortunate. I go to work in 45 minutes. So I'm trying to get the general basics of what has caused me to be off my game. Because that triggered, because I was so in Dallas for so long, and I was there way longer than I needed to be. And I already was only on 4 hours of sleep. I was tired. So I went home. at around maybe 8 p.m. I got home, and I got here, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep so hard that I forgot to set my alarm. I forgot. Wait, no. Okay, hold on. I'm forgetting something. So on Sunday morning, I had work, but my power went out. So my alarm clock was literally flashing the hour 4:20 at me. I can't make this up. I have a video of it, actually. I'll put it in the description. But it was flashing 4:20 at me, and my power went out, and I was late. So that was unfortunate, but they didn't write me up or anything because I had proof that the power went out. So, but I low-key blame that small event. And I've noticed this, that whenever something mildly inconvenient happens, everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. I will stop everything. And you're probably wondering, like, Sunday, that was only the 17th. You said you've been off since the 15th. And the thing is, I can't recall what happened on the 15th for me to fall off like that. And I'm really annoyed that I can't, because that's like the main identifiable behavior is the fact. And you know what it might have been? For the last week, I've been working full day shifts. I've been working 11 to 9s. And I know that's not technically a full day shift. That's only, what, 9 hours, but still, that's 10 hours, whatever. But that takes up my entire day. So I didn't bother to sticky note. That's what it was. I didn't bother to sticky note at all because my whole day was going to be taken up by work anyways. I was going to wake up at fucking 8, which I failed at doing because waking up has been a problem recently. And that's the main issue of this month so far, is the fact that I cannot wake up on time to save my goddamn life. But I've been waking up. But at that point, I woke up at like literally 10, got there at 11. You know, I still prepped my bag and everything. I still did my morning routine to the extent that I could, but I didn't plan out my day. And I think it was falling off of that screwed me up, because literally the next day, I think I was off that Saturday. I don't remember. But either way, it threw me off my game, and that screwed me up. And it was entirely my fault. Is the thing. It was entirely my fault. And so now I'm trying to think of how to prevent that. And it's literally just maintaining that consistency. So today I had my day planned, which to the extent that I could, because I didn't plan it last night because I got home really tired again and I fell asleep and whatever. But today I had 10 a.m. I woke up. I didn't wake up at 8, but I did wake up at 10. And I don't know if I need to slowly ease myself into waking up early, like starting by waking up at 10 and then waking up at 8 later. And then evidently like finally waking up at 6 in the morning. I don't know. But man, they were really just having an orgy over there. Jesus Christ. But I want to go figure that out first. But either way, I woke up at 10 today. At 12, I was supposed to go to work, but now it's 1, so that already got screwed up. So I'm gonna have to write that little note in there. But now I go to work at 1. So from 1 to 9, I'm at work. From 9 at 9:30, I want to go to the gym. Right? I'm putting this out there right now. Because if I say it audibly, it might help me. And that's a big part of the documentation process is, yes, a lot of it's content, but the main purpose of me doing it is the fact that a long time ago, I read a post, and it was one of those cringy Instagram motivational, like, motivational posts, like, this is what you need to do. And it said, live your life like you have a camera crew following you. And I was like, I can do that. Like, not even just like act like it. I can literally document everything that I do and use other people to propel me forward. Like, not use other people. That sounds horrible. But like, I am documenting everything. I have to put up a fight because now other people are watching, and it's kind of sad that that's what it takes for me. Like, other people's validation. But also it's like, whatever works. I'm okay with that. Because if I can get better because of this, I'm going to. So that's what I'm doing. And I am documenting everything, and that's a big part of what that docuseries is. And it's been interesting because it hasn't been vlogs necessarily yet. It hasn't been like entries per day. It's just been, I'm starting off with journaling, and then eventually I'm planning on taking a camera with me everywhere once I have a small enough camera with a dedicated SD card, because my phone has too much storage taken up, and a lot of it is photos that I don't want to lose, and I don't trust physical hard drives anymore, and I probably shouldn't trust digital clouds anymore either, but I guess once Apple dies, that's when I'll fear for it. But either way, weird. I don't even have a topic for this episode, man. I'm just walking around. I just made a pickaxe, some sword, and I got some food. You know what? That's what we're doing. We're harvesting food the entire episode. Let's do this. Again, another very ADHD episode. But we should retry the failure of last episode next episode. So we're gonna try to get diamonds again. That's the plan for next episode. But for now, we're gonna get food. We're gonna re-qualify ourselves. But yeah, last episode I talked a lot about education, and I'm glad I'm getting back into that, and y'all see me, start talking about that more and more and more. So I'll keep y'all updated, or myself. Again, no one really watches this, but I love acting like I have an audience for this. It's nice. But fuck, I say a lot too. Okay, this is another thing. So Barnes and Noble, I want to get back into reading informational books because Barnes and Noble just opened here, and I was very excited because we have a newer IP bookstore, and I was, excited, like, oh shit, yeah, we'll finally have more options. And I have this thing. I love buying books. I love the process of going to get a good book. I love the process of finding the book, being like, this is great. I love it. I read the first 20 pages, whatever, sit down, be like, this is the book for me. I'm gonna buy this. And then I go and I buy it, and I have the bag, and I have the Barnes and Noble bag, and it's great because they have the little cute bougie little bags, whatever. It's really hard to do that when on Amazon it's like $9 less, and I can't. Like, there's been a couple of books recently. Like, there's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow that I really want to read, and at Barnes and Noble it's $22, but online it's $10, and it's like I can get that half off online. But I'm like, I really want to buy a local, like, it's not a local bookstore, it's a big IP, but like, I want to buy it, damn it. I want to go out and like, be like, I'm going to get a book. I want to physically go buy it. And then on Amazon, it's way cheaper. And it's so unfortunate because I don't know. I like the physical act of going to buy something. And I feel like that's where my shopping addiction comes from, because if you didn't know, I was very poor growing up. I had jack shit nothing except for my grandpa, right, who also had jack shit nothing, but we both enjoyed the same thing, which was woodworking. And I will admit, this is the extent I was spoiled. Me and him bought so many tools. Way more tools than a 9-year-old would ever need. But he was like, you want tools? We go get tools. And we built a little wood shop. We built it was so awesome. And I still love it. And to this day, it's still standing, and I love it. Very illegal, but still standing. But that's the extent I was spoiled, and I'm very grateful for that. But other than that, I really didn't have shit. So anytime I wanted to buy something, it was like, nah, I can't afford that. So now that I have money, and it's like, yeah, I want that, I'm gonna buy it, and it's a problem. And finances have low-key been a lower priority recently because there was a very spontaneous thing that happened. And in case you're wondering, no, it was not thrown upon me. I did agree to it, so this is on me. But it's something that I'm very okay with happening, and that required my financial attention. So I'm doing that first, and then after that, I will get back on my financial, journey. But it's the lack of discipline that's worrying me. But also, this is something that needs to happen. So it's like, shit. And there's always going to be those things, right? Like, there's always going to be that one bill that needs to happen. And I'm not classifying this thing that's happening as a bill per se, but there's always going to be that one bill that just comes out of nowhere, and you're going to be like, fuck, that you didn't prepare for. I shouldn't say always. That shouldn't happen, actually. If you're planning properly, that should never happen. But I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. I want to get better. I'm desperately wanting to get better. And that's what I'm working on. So, I don't know. I was doing good in the gym for a minute there, but I haven't been in a couple of days. So, that's another thing that I need to worry about. But other than that, I am recording the podcast today, so that's good. I need to get back on an editing schedule. The problem is I think I'm juggling too many projects again. And the thing is, back then in like 2020, 2022, I would have said, I can do it, whatever. Like, I'll do all of them. But I don't want to do that. Because there's an interesting study. There's a couple of them, a couple of examples of this in Atomic Habits. And yes, I acknowledge this book so often, and I realize that I'm reading it like it's a goddamn Bible. But it is very helpful, and that's why I like it. And I recommend reading it. But anyways, there's a couple of studies in there that talk about quality over quantity, and what I don't know the best way to phrase it. Either way, there was a couple studies talking about how there were two research teams. One of them was told to make the perfect photo. Like, it was a group of photographers, and it was like, you have one photo, make it perfect, right? Like, you have this whole month to work on photos. Team 2 had the whole month, the same month, to work on, I think it was like 100 photos. I don't remember. It was a crap ton of photos, crap ton more photos. And that was their job, was you have to get all of these photos done. So you have quantity over quality there. And the second research team had more results. And like, I don't know, there was something about that was interesting to me because they were building their skill over time. They at first it was shit, but they evolved, they learned more. And that's kind of how I want my content journey to be, is just make shit. Like, I am tired of perfecting things. Like, I just need to make shit and get better at it. And reading that was like really nice because it made me feel justified. And okay, nothing's going to be perfect right now. So that's what I'm working on. And with these projects, that's kind of the thing that's keeping me going, is like, I know it's going to be shit at first, but it'll be good eventually. And I'm excited for that. And y'all should be excited for that because they're going to be great projects. And I can tell immediately I am kind of back to talking to a camera like I used to be, because this used to be weird. Or no, this used to be perfect. Sorry, excuse me. This used to be like I was talking to an audience, to a crowd, for example. I would speak to y'all like as if I was on a stage looking out at a coliseum of people, and that's how I imagined the camera. Was if I was sitting here talking to the monitor, I was still talking to you guys. Anyone that's specifically watching this video, I was talking to you, the individual. And then for a minute there, when I stopped doing YouTube and when I stopped recording, it was very apparent that I didn't know how to do that anymore, because then it was just the camera again. Then I was like, welcome back, guys. And it was awkward and it was weird, and I'm really glad I'm getting out of that funk, because God, that sucked. That really sucked, and I hated it. But we're back. We're so back, and I'm very glad about it. And I think with some of the things that I'm going to be doing soon, like streaming, for example, I haven't streamed, even though I had a streaming schedule. I haven't streamed since, let's actually check right now. I guarantee you it's been about a week. Probably more. It might be 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be 10 days ago. Yep, 2 weeks ago. It was when I first got my haircut. That's when it was. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but either way. I'm acknowledging all the things I need to get back in my life, because if I do that, I will do it. And it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And I've jumped around the same fucking corner like 3 times, and I'm so tired of it. Place my tulips. I should extend. I should build this up. I'm going to do that. But yeah, there's a couple of projects I've been working on. Very consistent with them, and I'm very happy about it. And it's going good. It's going very good. And I'm very excited to show you all the final product. That should be coming out. My deadline's actually tomorrow. No, in 2 days, on my birthday. I'm gonna do a birthday episode also. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might invite like a friend on here. We might do that. But that's in 2 days. I will be 20 years old. I'm very excited about that. I'm not really. I actually couldn't care less about turning 20. It's one of those years. It's like just like 19. It's like whatever. I'm 1 year older. But the second I turn 21, I'm getting lit. Not an alcoholic way. Not an alcoholic way. Let me clarify. I'm buying a gun. So I'm buying a gun immediately. I am going to buy a gun so fast. It is the Texan in me that is fighting. It is fighting to please get this gun. I don't know why. I low-key just like DoorDashing in general. I just feel so unsafe now, because the last time that like I really DoorDashed, I had to go deliver to like the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and there was just tweakers everywhere, and I was not safe. I did not deliver that order that day. I did not. I had Wingstop that night, and guess who paid for it? Wingstop, don't listen to this. DoorDash, don't listen to this. Either way, I told DoorDash, I was like, I got into an unsafe accident. And they were like, okay, don't worry about it. We're sending a Dasher to go pick up their food. And I was like, perfect. Awesome. Great. Amazing. What's it called? I didn't say accident. I said it was in like emergency. And their tip line was like, don't worry, like whatever. Just dispose of their food or do what you will. And I was like, okay. I disposed of it in my belly. But I did not feel safe. So there's a part of me that just wants it for self-defense reasons. Anyways. Yeah, weird. It's now 12:30. Shit, I have to go in 15 minutes, but let's go ahead and spend this last 15 minutes. What's the plan from here on out? It is currently August 20th. It is Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. It is noon on Wednesday. Does afternoon count if it's 12:30? I don't know. It is the afternoon of Wednesday, August 20th, sorry, 2025. I fell off on August 14th, and I've slowly been building myself back up, and now I'm ready to continue the routine. It's going to be hard for that first day or two, but then I'm going to be able to get back onto it. Right after this, I'm going to go journal. In my journal, I'm going to redo my entry, and I'm going to insert that sticky note inside the journal and laminate it like I normally do. That is the plan. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to succeed through the day. I'm going to do all that good stuff. You already know. My lunch. What am I working today? 1 to 9. I get an hour lunch. What should I do on my lunch? I have a chance because normally I literally just watch Dexter on my phone, and I feel like that's a bad idea. I could journal again, or I could plan tomorrow. We're gonna do that. We're gonna on my lunch. I'm not gonna take my laptop, but I am gonna take my journal and my sticky notes, and we're gonna plan tomorrow out. And then we're gonna start pre-production on the final cut of the video that I'm working on currently. That's what we're gonna do on my lunch. So I have an hour to do that. We're gonna go pick up food. And another thing that I'm now realizing I should have mentioned is meal prepping. I haven't meal prepped this week. I've been eating out every day, and it's so bad. And I'm very annoyed about it. And I'm getting back onto it. And the thing is, I quickly discovered that I get tired of the same food over and over again. So now I'm having to force myself to learn new recipes and new good things, and going to buy those groceries, especially for variety, gets expensive. So it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird situation that I'm definitely gonna have to talk to, and maybe I'll talk about that in my birthday episode. But either way, maybe the birthday episode will just be us fucking around. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a totally different shift. Who knows? But either way, I'm gonna do that on my lunch. I'm gonna prepare for tomorrow. I'm gonna put that sticky note in there, and I should be all good to go. I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna get off at 9. I'm gonna take my gym clothes with me. I'm gonna take my shaker cup and my pre-workout with me. And at 9:30, I'm gonna go to the gym. At 10:30, I'm gonna come home and shower. At 11, I'm gonna spend the time just writing things down, putting my glasses on, taking out my contacts, relaxing. And by midnight, that is my new bedtime, because 10 p.m. was too unrealistic for me. I do get off at 9 constantly. There's not enough time post work to get things done. So now midnight is my new cutoff, because even if I wake up at 10, that's still 10 hours of sleep. If I wake up at 8, that's still 8 hours of sleep. I can make that work. Midnight is my cutoff. I'm going to go buy melatonin, and I'm not going to rely on it because I know that's bad for you, but I am going to go invest in it. So that's the plan. And then tomorrow, I don't even know what I worked. I think I worked the exact same shift. Oh, not the exact same. The initial intended shift. So I work an 11 to 9 tomorrow. Let me verify that, because if I don't, then that's going to sound really stupid. Yeah, I work an 11 to 9 tomorrow. So I'm going to go do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I will wake up at 8 in the morning. I'm going to set that. I'm going to wake up at 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning. Everyone hold me to that. It is currently 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold me to waking up at 8 in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to wake up at 8 in the morning. That's what I'm going to do. 8 in the morning. I don't care. I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to turn my air conditioner off so I'm be forced to sleep uncomfy and sweaty. And so I don't have my beautifully cold room. It's going to be great. I'm going to go wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then my day will start. That is the set in stone thing that I'm going to do tomorrow. And that is my main goal for tomorrow. I'm going to set that big goal. I'm going to force myself to wake up at 8 in the morning, and I'm going to do it correctly. And if I don't, I'm a little bitch. Either way. I apologize. I've officially lost the plot of this episode, and I have no idea what the title is. Either way. I'm very glad that I do have this consistent factor in my life. Once a week was definitely the move. Editing may not be the move yet, because I'm still figuring things out. This podcast probably won't get edited until... If you start seeing edits in this podcast, just know my life is going really well. If you start seeing cuts and, edits and voice effects and whatever in this podcast, just know my life is going extremely well, because I have time to do that. So, yeah. And then I'm trying to think. I work 11, so 8 a.m. I'll wake up. I do want to start going to the gym in the morning, because going after work is actually horrible when my feet are on fire and they suck and they hurt. So I'll start going in the morning. So I'll wake up at 8, go to the gym immediately. So wake up, brush my teeth, fix my hair to the extent that I can, put my hat on, go to the gym. Tomorrow is push. Today I'm gonna redo legs, because that was what yesterday was supposed to be, and I don't want to do push or pull because I don't want to fuck myself. So I'm gonna do legs. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do push and pull again. And then my schedule will be reset, because I'm not going to hit legs again until Friday. No, Saturday. It's perfect. Cool. Awesome. Great. Amazing. Awesome. And then I'm going to go to the gym at 8. So I'm going to wake up at 8. I'll go to the start, head into the gym at 8:15, get there at 8:30, do my workout, come home at 9:30, shower, get ready for work. And from 10 to 11, by the time I'm done with my shower and got ready for work already, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to plan my shot list, and I'm going to prepare pre-production and shit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do pre-production. I said I was going to plan this on my lunch, and I acknowledge that, and I'm already fucking myself up. However, this is important because I want the general idea in my head, and I want to jam it in my head while I'm recording. Next, I'm going to go to work from 11 to 9. During my lunch, my 1 hour lunch, I will plan for the next day. I'm going to journal during that 1 hour lunch, and I'm going to read. I'm not going to touch my phone. I don't want to touch my phone. I want my phone to stay in my pocket. I want to read. I want to read my books. That's what I want to do. And then I'm going to go home at 9. I'm going to go shower after work. I'm going to go back to my room, and I'm going to have those 2 hours to kill because it's still 10 at that point. That's perfect. That midnight time kind of opens me up to easier sleep time. That's good. That's good for me. That's what we're going to do. Midnight is now the sleep time. I'm excited. We're back. And while the sun sets on this Minecraft world, next episode we're going to go get diamonds. I don't know if that's going to be the bonus episode or not. Bonus episode, I'm gonna workshop that with my friends, see if anyone wants to join me for that. But I'm gonna go enjoy the rain after I go journal and plan out today, and do what I said I was gonna do earlier, which I may have already forgot. I don't know, but I know it has to do with my journal, so I'm gonna go open it and then I'll remember. But I'm gonna go do that. I will see y'all in the next episode. Rise above, motherfuckers. I'm sorry that I fell off for this week, but I will fix it. I will fix it by the next week, and it's gonna be great. And y'all are gonna be so proud. So I'll see y'all then. Rise above, motherfuckers. You already know. Adios.